Helmets and shoes, two items of kit which I obsess over the fit and comfort of more than anything when it comes to cycling. And luckily here at the Santos Tour Down Under, there are loads of bits of kit lying around, so I can get these grubby hands on them and check out exactly what's new and hopefully custom too. After all, Elia Viviani's just over my shoulder and he's definitely got something. Just checking out the helmets of UAE Team Emirates, and this is a Met Trenta, and it's the 3K carbon one because it's got a little bit of a carbon weave going on here at the back of the helmet. And actually, it goes all the way through to the front. I hadn't noticed that before. It's amazing how when you look at something in the different angle of light, it changes. I really like the colourway of this helmet, but let's look at the facts then. 19 vents, and it weighs just 235 grams. It weighs not as much as I thought it would, to be honest. I always thought it looked a bit of a heavier helmet. I like the rounded approach as well of the structure of it, the external features, and also this little vent here on the top, just to suck a little bit more air in when the going gets tough. Big exhaust vents on the rear of that too. Nice looking bit of kit. Elia Viviani then, a guy who loves to customise his kit. And well, when you've won the races that he's done and got the titles, you're entitled to do so. So this is his Eco Corsa Evo Helmet. It's got 23 vents on there, 235 grams. Now Eco is a brand which we don't really tend to see much of, certainly not in the UK, but they do have the option on their website to be able to customise equipment to your heart's content. And I'm pretty sure it's a pretty quick lead time too. I like the fact he's got himself a gold detail on the back there, the retention system. Love things like that. Just wait though until you see his shoes. They are fancy. And well, if this isn't fancy enough, I must just point out the fact that it's got a magnetic closure on the buckle of this helmet too. Just simply clicks into place and off he can ride. Last year at the Tour Down Under, Elia Viviani wowed me with his DMT KR1 knit shoes in the Italian Champs colourway. Well, this year, check out on his feet what he's got. He's got the same shoe, but in a European road race champion. Now, these shoes would be ideal down here at the Tour Down Under because it's, well, pretty hot, let's face it. Very breathable shoes because of the knitted construction. And, well, I'm just a big fan of them. What about this then? Last year, you'll remember at the Tour Down Under that the folks from Specialized released a limited edition range of shoes and helmets, well, to celebrate the Tour Down Under and the colours involved. Well, this year, check out this blue and yellow and almost a greeny colour as well to these accessories. You know what? I'm going to put the hat on first of all and then talk about the rest because I like the hat and I can explain the story behind it. Well, we've got here couple of eyes on the side, and that's to celebrate the Australian budgie. I used to have a cockatiel, but that's totally unrelated, right? But the reason they've actually released this product in this colourway is actually to raise money for Wires, which is an Australian wildlife fund, and Specialized are actually going to be donating $100,000 to the fund to help try and save the Australian budgie, which of course is an animal which was native to many of those forest fires which have been happening here in Australia. I think it's a great touch, a great gesture, and while the product looks absolutely fantastic too. I just wish they were in my size. Helmet might fit. Matching up then with that budgie-themed kit from Specialized is this Specialized Alley Sprint aluminium bike. And if you cast your mind back 12 months, you will remember that Peter Sagan and I think Jay McCarthy from the Bora Hansgrohe team were using an aluminium bike in the criterium ahead of the actual Santos Tour Down Under itself. This year, Eric Basker, and I'm pretty sure Jay McCarthy has also got one of these kicking around too. They've got this bike in a pretty cool limited edition colourway too. Again, to actually try and raise some funds for that Australian budgie. So it's Specialized Alley Sprint, as I've already mentioned, and we've got the Delusio Smart Weld technology you can see. So most of the welds are in kind of standard places, if you like, on the bike. But where it gets interesting is on the down tube and the seat tube, because the welds there are kind of pushed up, if you like, from the standard positions. And the reason behind that is actually to try and increase the ride properties of it. I imagine trying to make the bike nice and stiff. And well, I think the bike itself looks really good. They won't be using it in the actual Tour Down Under itself, but certainly in the criterium ahead of it because, well, it's great publicity for the brand. And interestingly, this bike too is fitted with tubeless tyres. Whether or not they race them in the Tour itself, I don't know. Remember as well, last year, there were a couple of riders using tubeless tyres in the World Tour. Will this be the year where they really do make inroads? Other than that, well, we've got Shimano Dura Ace Di2 group set, and of course it's the disc brake variety because all of the riders using specialised bikes in the World Tour are on disc brakes. It's a great looking bike. I really like the colour. In fact, we had to take it outside because inside you just couldn't see it in all of its beauty. It's kind of a brushed aluminium but got an anodised finish to it. Lovely. Alex, I was looking through Instagram last night whilst I had insomnia, and I came across jet lag, insomnia, probably a bit of both, and I noticed you'd been filing away your base plates for your cleats. You were doing something. Anyway, talk us through what you've been doing.
I'm back on Bont and Speedplay this year. I think the team allowed me to run Speedplay, which is really something I was really pushing for. I've got a 3mm leg difference. I ran a 3mm shim on my left foot. So the Speedplay adapter that takes you from a 3-bolt to a 4-bolt, I took a second one of them, put it on top, but then had to it's got a few ridges and edges, so just filed that so it was sort of clean and flat, and and just made that work. So it's sort of, once I get back to the UK, I will get my left, because the adapter plate is 3mm, fortunately, I will get my right shoe drilled to make it a 4-bolt fitting so that I can just run the standard adapter on my left foot, and it still gets the leg difference I need, but I will be 3mm closer, or 3mm further down actually than I was before, and I think that brings me a total stack height of 9mm difference from the pedals I was using last year, which is quite significant.
Yeah, that's a lot. You've got to drop your saddle by a centimetre effectively. Yeah. Do you like playing around with tech, like tinkering, stuff like this?
Yeah, I do like it. I've always liked the tech side of cycling, the aero side, the time trial, sort of my time trial speciality comes hand in hand with that. So yeah, and it's great. Israel Startup Nation's quite an innovative team, so the sponsors all understand as well that if something's can be improved, then the team's very open-minded to do it, whereas I think in the past we've been very constrained by whichever sort of sponsors we've had, and it can be quite limiting. And it's like every team runs good equipment, and there's some like kit that will be slightly better than another, and you look at another team saying, oh, we're giving away a couple of watts here compared with those guys that are running that specific chain or handlebar setup or something, but then they'll be looking at us and thinking like, oh, they've got faster skin suits or something. It's all like swings and roundabouts where you just try and make the best of what you have access to, and just hope that the team is open-minded and willing to sort of just, I guess, join your search in the quest for speed, which Israel Startup Nation is great for, it seems.
The Ecoy Legend helmet, as used by the squad of AG Desert Le Mondial, and of course home of Romain Bardet. Apparently, Bardet was actually quite instrumental in the whole development of this helmet and kept going back with certain refinements until he felt it was just perfect. Bit of information then about the helmet. It's got 28 vents, weighs just 235 grams, and I think, personally, it has a kind of real retro feel to it. It reminds me of the old hairnet helmets of old, and I like them. Although I don't think they should bring them back, but they've got pretty close to it with this. Nice work. Right, Lockie, last year I remember seeing you rocking a pair of sort of prototype shoes or something like that. This year, you have got a pair of shoes which I'm desperate to put my feet into, but I reckon a little bit smaller than me. Yeah. Are you the only one with these or what? I mean, they're pretty cool.
Nielsen's got a pair. Yeah, I mean, they showed up a few days ago. So yeah, they're like new Rafa race shoes, and they're great.
Matching with the colour of the kit as well, don't they? Is that an important thing for you or not?
I mean, not really. I'm not like too fussed about how I look. But no, they're good. I'm pretty fussy with shoes. I rode like Shimano used to make these. It's called like an R315. It's like a 2011 shoe. And I used those for like 4 years because I didn't like changing. So when these turned up like less than a week before the race, I was like, yeah, no chance. And then I put them on. I was like, oh, these are pretty good. So yeah, I got them on.
Right, when you just go back to the Shimano ones just quickly, when you had them and you realised, oh, they're getting a little bit tired, did you try and find some anywhere or not? Or were you just like, oh, I'll just keep wearing them?
Yeah, no, I bought like all the 43.5s you could buy on eBay, and then like all like old stock in shops, and then till finally like there was just no more 43.5s available anywhere, and I was like, it's time. It's time. I still got one pair I'll like keep just in case I need to go back to, I got them.
The good news is I've just found out you're 43.5 and I am too, so you better keep those under lock and key, otherwise I'll come along and have them off your feet.
Yeah, right.
There we are, some interesting bits of tech when it comes to helmets and shoes. And I love to see these things because it's not often you can get to see a lot of them inside of a bike shop. Let me know what your favourite bit of kit was down there in the comment section below. Don't forget to check out the GCN shop at shop.globalcyclingnetwork.com. And why not download the GCN app too? Available in the App Store and also the Google Play Store. And now for 2 more great videos, how about clicking just down here and just down here.